we're recording right now. Don't forget, I'll be in Toledo, Ohio, November 14th. My brother, who's the promoter, hit me up, brother. The promoter, hit me up and let me know if you got the flyers. I got to email the promoter to get the flyers because a lot of people are asking me about the address for the venue. Say Vimeo is better. Do they have a live streaming thing on Vimeo? I got to check and see. Say use Google Hangouts. Hidden Colors 4, we're looking at, I want to do it Black History Month. I want to have it out by February. I want to have Hidden Colors out by February. That's why I'm looking so tired now. I'm so tired right now. I've been working on the edits for Hidden Colors 4. What I do, I go through all the footage, and I'm almost done with that. I got like a day left to go through all the footage. It takes a month to do that alone and pick out what's going to be used, what's not going to be used. And that's just the first draft of everything. Then I got to send that to the editor. I go through all that, make my notations, and then send it to the editor. Then I got to do my part. I haven't done my part yet, so it's a process. So that's the first stage, and then once we get that together, we could chop it down some more, because usually when we put everything that we're going to use or all the good material together, that's about 3.5 hours. So we cut it down to about 2 hours and 30 minutes, and then we start to get, which is the most difficult part, all the stock footage, the stock photos, the stock videos, the reenactments, and all that stuff. So it is what it is. What about live streaming on YouTube? I tried that. YouTube has too many regulations. With YouTube, if you play any kind of music, they'll shut your page down and all that. So I'm tired as hell right now. Plus, the Wizard is a troll. Okay, who is Wizard? Let me ban Wizard. Oh, okay. Somebody in here with corny jokes. Okay. That sounds like Trag. Trag, don't be in here with the bullshit now. I need to find out, man. My man from Ohio, the promoter, man, you need to hit me up, man. Let me know what's up. I got to find out when the tickets go on sale, because again, it's October, and it'll be October in a few days, and the lecture is in November 14th. So I got to hit it. My man got to give me all the info. Yeah, we do. We hire people to do reenactments. Yes, I am. I'm going to 10/10/15. I will be there. So I will definitely try to find out when the tickets will go on sale and where the tickets will go on sale. I'm going to hit the promoter up tonight after I do the show. I'm real tired. I'm not going to be on here too long because I got some more work to do as far as Hidden Colors 4. I've been up since 6 in the morning because I work on Hidden Colors 4 all day. And my son be keeping me up. My son is seer. Be waking me up in the middle of the night. He woke me up this morning at like 6. Had to change his diaper and get him a bottle. And, you know, sometimes when I wake up, it's hard to go back to sleep. And I could not go back to sleep. And then the shit hit me in the middle of the day. And I'm tired as shit. What's up? You have a question. During the 60s, 70s, the black feminist movement, what did the black man do wrong in handling that situation? And what should they have done differently? Well, that's a very good question. My man Night On asked a very good question. What did the black men do wrong? Well, one thing, what black men did wrong, and that's a very good question, and that's a very good observation. What we did wrong, what they did wrong, because I was a baby, but what they did wrong, black men gave up their ownership and control of resources, of businesses. That was a big mistake. When you did that, all that did was create a whole plethora of Negro bedwenches who started to Negro bedwench buck dance for the white supremacists in order to get resources. Because then you let the white supremacist male become the quote-unquote breadwinner. He's the one who provided the jobs. He was the one who provided the county government aid and all that. So you created a bunch of people who looked to white daddy all of a sudden, which created a Negro bedwench mentality, because that's what most of those women aren't really feminists. You got to understand that. Most of them are pretend feminists. They're not feminists at all. Like Neely Fuller said, you can't claim what you don't practice. That's like me saying, well, I'm an astronaut. Well, what makes me an astronaut? You just can't go by, well, I say so. Because if that's the case, anybody can arbitrarily claim something and not own up to what they're claiming. So a lot of these people, they claim to be black feminists, but when you really peel back the surfaces, they're not feminists whatsoever. They're basically people who are trying to get in good graces with white daddy, and they understand how to throw black society under the bus in order to get a butter biscuit. So we gave up a lot of our businesses and things that we own, and that was a big mistake. That was a major mistake. Oh yeah, all those message boards, yeah, those are all those nerd boards, those are white supremacists places. But hell, the white supremacists, they don't have to go underground no more. The white supremacists are getting bolder and bolder. All right, people are coming on in the room. So let me I'm going to turn my Periscope off on my phone. All the people on Periscope, go to Ustream right now. If you're on Twitter, I put the link on Twitter to come to the live Ustream show because this Periscope be tearing my phone up. It be running the battery down. So I'm going to log off Periscope because everybody can see me in the chat room in Ustream right now. So go to Twitter and come on in the Ustream chat room right now, fam. Let me log off on this thing. Hold on, how the hell I do this? Hold on 1 second. Stop broadcast. There we go. All right. There you go. So now y'all can come on in the chat room here in Ustream. And again, I'm not going to be on too long because I got to get some rest and I'm tired. And I got work to do. And my son is fully better, so he's going back to school in the morning. And a lot of people asking about TJ. TJ is fine. He's perfect now. He's fine. He was fine last week, actually. So he's good. You know, I just kept him home just to be safe, but he's good. And again, we don't know what the illness was. We don't know what happened. Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw the video. The person who lives in that area showed me the video of the brother who got shot in the wheelchair. The race soldiers, they're getting bolder. The race soldiers are getting bolder, and we got to stop playing games. We got to realize, for some reason, we don't understand that we are in a war and we are under attack. We just don't want to acknowledge that fact. And I saw the footage of the brother who got shot in a wheelchair. And that's a new thing with the cops. And I know I don't want to play the video and all that stuff. But the cops, this is the thing that they do. The police now, one of their tactics is to yell out certain things as a way to justify shooting you. Like the cops kept saying, drop the gun, drop the gun. See, that's a new deceptive tactic for cops. Well, it's not new. They've been doing that. They're yelling, drop the gun. And the man didn't have a gun. The man didn't have a gun. So it looked like they just wanted to shoot the guy. You shooting the dude in a wheelchair. Well, somebody else, y'all can post the link up. I don't want to post the link up of the brother getting shot in a wheelchair. But the brother got shot in a wheelchair. He's a black man in a wheelchair. They shot him to death. A black man in a wheelchair got shot by race soldiers. That just shows you the callousness of these white supremacist suspects right now. So I allow URLs. But yeah, this is part of their tactics. They will yell out stuff. And also another thing they will do is pin you down and start yelling, stop resisting. While you're just laying there, they're just yelling, stop resisting, stop resisting, stop resisting. In a way to justify harming you. That's a little white supremacist trick they got going. A cop did that to me before, years ago. I was in Hollywood, and I guess they had like some kind of police setup or whatever, and they told me to pull over. Well, okay. And they were like, get out the car. okay. And I got out the car. I'm like, well, what's going on? And you had the little good cop, bad cop thing going on. I'm like, what's this all about? The cop yelling, "You're resisting!" I'm like, what the fuck? And threw me in the back of the squad car. So I'm like, okay, let me shut the fuck up and lawyer up. They were like, can we search your car? No. Hell no. Why not? Because I'm not a criminal. No, you cannot search my car. And I kept saying it. Cannot search my car. You cannot search my car. Then they ran the plates and they were like, well, we heard there was an Escalade. This was I've had Escalades for years. And there was an Escalade that was stolen, but they made up some bullshit. But basically, it was just a shakedown to see what was up. But okay, let me ban him. Okay, all right, there you go. But yeah, it was a shakedown. And that's the problem. The cops got this thing where they just yell out stuff as a way to justify harming you. We got to get serious about what's happening now, because understand this. These white supremacists are creating an apartheid system now. No, I didn't sue. I didn't sue. Yeah. We got to get very serious, and enough black people are not serious. See, I talk a lot about white supremacy. There's a reason why I do so, because see, I know it's painful to deal with. I know it's painful to deal with, but ignoring it and being childish and silly all the time, I know we want relief and all this old stuff, but there's a time for everything. There's a time for joking and silliness. Then there's a time to acknowledge what's going on. And we got to understand this. As people classified as black, yeah, Hidden Colors 4 is going to be the shiznit. It's going to be the shiznit. You notice with some of the laws that they got coming out now, black people classified as black, we do not have rights, and we are not protected in this country or in this society as so-called black Americans. That's something that we need to really acknowledge. Because some of these laws, what's this? Some of these laws are getting more Nazi-oriented. Some of the laws now are getting so ridiculous when it comes to black people. As you know, Nathan Ener, who was a guy we talked about weeks ago. Nathan Ener, he was a white guy out there in Texas threatening black people. He got online, posted a video talking about, y'all better run, you black bastards, trying to talk in code, but he couldn't help himself. I'm going to hit you with slingshots, and you bastards, I'm going to run up in your house. And he was talking about shooting black folks and hitting black folks with slingshots. Just real bold with it. Nothing happened. And how many black people are arrested for making threats online? There's been about 3 black folks immediately arrested for making threats online. There was a black dude, I think it was in Baltimore. He was like, man, we need to kill the cops or whatever. They immediately arrested his ass. There was another black woman, I want to say she was in Florida a few months ago. She made some threats under another name on Facebook. They immediately arrested her. There was another sister down in Atlanta who got on YouTube making threats about killing cops and all that. They got her. They arrested her down in Atlanta. Immediately arrested her. When did King Noble get arrested? When did King Noble get arrested? Wait. Now, you got to answer that, Ronan75. When did King Noble get arrested? Because that's the thing. I haven't seen him get arrested. Ronin 75, answer that question, bro. Ronin 75, man, I'm gonna ban you if you don't answer that question, man. Because that nigga never got arrested, which tells you something. Which should tell you something. King Noble didn't get arrested. Was it? No. That's what you saw. Post a link. Post a link of King Noble getting arrested, Ronan. King Noble didn't get arrested. He never got arrested. Which further proves that that nigga must be an agent. We've been saying he's an agent for years. All these people getting arrested for threats, and he done made some threats. They ain't even questioned him, so that lets you know everything you need to know about King Noble. And I know you watching, you little dusty nigga. That agent-ass nigga didn't get arrested. which speaks volumes. Yeah, stop trolling. Stop just running your goddamn mouth. That's the problem with niggas, man. Cats just love running their damn mouths just to be saying shit and don't know what the fuck you talking about. You know, enough of that shit. It's too late in the day for just dumb nigga babble. Yeah, he's watching. King Noble watches all my shit, his little agent ass. That's what he gets paid to do. Watch and instigate and make little instigating videos. That's his job. And this nigga, the conservatives are linking him to Black Lives Matter and talking about him threatening the cops, and that nigga, they ain't checked that nigga pants pocket. That nigga's such an agent. With his little dusty, goat-smelling ass. But look, man, we're in an apartheid state right now, man. Some of the laws that they got coming out now are insane. There's some new law. I think it's in Kansas City. I saw a link today. It's either in Kansas or Memphis. We should have put the story on Melanoid Nation. The story was they're doing what those all-in laws. What they're doing now, they're going to start charging people for crimes if you're associated with criminals. They're just being bold with it. All right, Ronan, but just don't run your mouth and you don't know what you're talking about, man. I wish I had the link to this story, but what they're doing, they're talking about, and they do this already out here with the gang injunctions, but they're talking about if you know somebody who's a criminal or in some way associated with them, they're going to start charging you. All around the country, the hackers posted everyone's registered to Noble's site. Some black chick that works for the government was registered to his site. Hilarious. Say they found child porn on King Noble's site. Yeah, he made some shit about raping women. But this nigga ain't never got arrested. Okay. All right. But they got laws now. Y'all got to understand this. The white supremacists are so emboldened now because they know that Obama's not going to do anything. And they're going to get it all the way in this last year. That's why they're getting a lot of policies already in place now because they know they know that Obama's not going to do shit. So it's a green light to go all in. It's a green light to go all in. And they're getting so bold. They are so bold now. I saw a story where there was one brother had a bullet. They found him, he had a bullet in his pocket. They gave that brother 15 years. Dudes out here in California, they locking dudes up, man, for crimes where you used to get a slap on the wrist. This whole tough on crime shit is really tough on black folks. Again, the P's out here, the PIs, they're giving these dudes football numbers. There was a pimp up in Santa Barbara. I told you about a pimp out in up in the Bay last week. They gave him life in prison. There was another P up in Santa Barbara. They gave him 38 years to life. So they're giving out astronomical numbers. Yeah, it was a dude. He didn't even have a gun. It was a dude who had a bullet in his pocket. They're locking us up for anything right now because the law doesn't apply to us to protect us. We do not have, and it says, you found a YouTube link. It says King No, he ain't under no investigation. If he was under investigation, they would have had him arrested. If he was under investigation for real, they would have arrested him. Yeah, but y'all need to go to melanoidnation.org. We got the hot stories up there, man. All the hot stuff, all the best information. You guys need to go to Melanoid Nation every day. melanoidnation.org to get all the good stories about what's going on. There was, remember this, understand this. They got all these prisons in the country. And black crime is actually down. Black crime is actually down. This is why whenever the white supremacists like to talk about black on black crime and their dumb nigger mascots, they always point to Chicago. You notice that? Every time they talk about black on black crime, they always point to Chicago. Because Chicago is the only place really where there's an outlandish or even an abnormal amount of crime. But even in Chicago, a lot of people suspect some of those cops and some of those white supremacists to be behind some of the murders out there. But I digress as far as that. But as far as black crime nationwide is actually down. Black crime is actually down. But they got all these prisons, these for-profit prisons that these white supremacists they've invested in, and they have to have a filled capacity rate. They got to be at 90% damn near at all times in order for it to make a profit, because they have to guarantee occupancy at these prisons. You follow me, family? And the prisons are the new plantations, by the way. Prisons are the new plantations. So the media, what happens is we see the word black on black crime in Chicago. And remember, black crime, so-called black crime, is really regulated to small areas. But what they do, they keep saying black on black crime to give the illusion of a black criminal class that's running amok around the country, and that's not the case. But they got to fill these prison complexes up. So if black crime is down and they got to fill the prisons up, what do? The white supremacists, all they have to do is redefine what is a crime and criminalize more things that black people do. This is why I talked about them down in Texas not letting black folks in clubs, and you have to nip that in the bud. These little clubs out here that have these little discrimination policies against black folks, you have to nip that in the bud and just don't dismiss it and say, well, we don't need to go or we're not wanted. No. You got to nip that in the bud, because it ain't about you not being somewhere where you are not wanted. The fact that they can criminalize you is something that you need to nip in the bud, because now if they can discriminate against you and you'll just dismiss it and say, well, I don't want to go there anyway. What if you just show up one day, you don't know that this club has a policy, then all of a sudden the cops shake you down because now it's illegal and now you're committing a crime for trespassing because you black. So now you got to watch out for them criminalizing everything you do, because that's what happens. That's why so many black folks are being targeted, because more things are criminalized for us. That's why when the white supremacists can get online, and you look at some of these message boards like 4chan, Reddit, hell, Facebook, it ain't nothing but white supremacists talking about harming black people. Nothing but. You don't never see them get arrested. But the minute a couple of black folks say, hey man, we need to roll up and raise up, immediately they get arrested, because again, there's a double standard there and they know it and they don't give a shit about it. We're not a protected class. We do not have rights, and we're not a protected class. That's something that we have to acknowledge. And what they do, they can reinterpret the law any way they feel, because who's going to protect us? You understand that? So we got to start looking and seeing what we need to do as a solution, or as some solutions. But we got to focus on the real problem. See, the white supremacists are very good at making you deflect. And when black folks get together, we start talking about, what about black on black crime? Everybody starts buck dancing. Your problem is white supremacy, and you not having rights, and you're not being protected. Because the Constitution don't mean anything if they can't enforce it. You don't have equal protection under the law. We're 14th Amendment citizens, but if it's not enforced, then what? How do you enforce the 14th Amendment? That's the problem. You got to understand, with white supremacists, they'll put some shit on paper and be like, okay, we'll do this. And then when you say, hey, I thought you were going to do this. Well, I decided not to, but it's on paper. You understand? White supremacists, they've been doing that for years. They'll put some shit on paper and then renege on what they put on paper. The Constitution works for white society. The Constitution doesn't work for you. Neely Fuller was right. We are prisoners of war. That's a harsh reality. And a lot of people get on this whole thing about doing paperwork this, paperwork that. Paperwork don't work for us. They don't. Dude, the Constitution don't work for us. The 14th Amendment don't work for us because it's not enforced. You're supposed to get equal protection under the law. Dude, the cops are killing children. The cops are killing children. Constitution, dude, look at Tamir Rice. They can't even come up with a good reason to justify the murder of Tamir Rice. Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old child, was shot dead immediately in Cleveland, and the cop who did it is walking around right now. They cannot justify shooting that kid. They can't say, well, he shouldn't have been out there playing. He's a kid. What do you mean he shouldn't have been out there playing in the park with a toy? They can't talk about, well, he shouldn't have had a gun, because guns and open carry is legal in Ohio. It's legal to open carry in Ohio, so they can't use that excuse. They still haven't come up with a good excuse yet as to why that cop jumped out the car, blew that little boy away, and he's walking around now. They still have not come up with a good bullshit story. They can't say, because it's on film, they can't use that he was a thug running through the bullets. He was running through the bullets and he had superhuman nigger strength. They can't even do that. They can't do that. So, the Constitution don't work for you? That proves right there is no equal protection. There's no equal protection. Ohio is an open carry state. They can't even use that whole he shouldn't have had a gun thing. They can't even use that. But we don't have no protection. And they can make up laws arbitrarily at their will and bend the law as they please. Because we have no rights, and nobody's going to enforce the so-called constitutional rights we have. Look at OJ. Speaking of OJ, when OJ, in the 90s, he got a fair trial. He had a fair jury who saw the case for what it was and said, okay, there's reasonable doubt, not guilty. And the white supremacists said, oh, okay, we got to go to the drawing board so this won't happen again. So basically what the white supremacists did, they set OJ up. That whole shit with OJ right now in prison, that was a setup from top to bottom. They set, and Johnny Cochran was right when he said that the white supremacists, they use the law, in law enforcement, they use it as for vendettas on black folks. He was right. But with OJ, they set him up from top to bottom. You had one white supremacist suspect call OJ up, talking about, hey, OJ, I know where people stole your stuff and we can go get it. The white supremacist dude called OJ up, who was supposed to be OJ's friend, and that's another thing. Who is Angry Dragon? Who is Angry Dragon? Okay. Okay, I don't know who Angry Dragon is. I don't see his name in here. Okay, I don't see Angry Dragon's name. All right. So we got a white supremacist in the room. Okay. But I'm talking about OJ. I'm talking about OJ. Now, OJ Simpson was set up. The reason why he's in prison now, because they've been trying to get him. They've been trying to get him on all types of stuff. Just anything to get him as revenge for getting off for the case in the 90s. Anything for getting off. They've been trying to get revenge on OJ for 20 years. And what they did, and this is where OJ was dumb, underestimating the power of the white supremacists and trusting the white supremacists. Because again, the dude called him up talking about, OJ, somebody stole your stuff, and I know you've been looking for the stuff that was stolen, and we can go get it. And OJ's dumb ass let that white supremacist con him into going to get his stuff. And you're thinking, okay, yeah, I'm going to meet some criminals who stole my stuff. This is my stuff. I'm going to get my stuff back from these criminals. So OJ went in there, hey, sit down, man, give me my stuff. Hey, you don't go nowhere. You give me my stuff. That's my stuff. Which is any normal person would do. If somebody stole your stuff, you would go get it. Now, the white dude, the suspected white supremacist, he went with OJ, and there was some other brothers who went as backup to help OJ out. The white dude was taping the whole thing. He had a secret wire on. He's taping the whole goddamn thing, which lets you know was a setup from the start. He went to the feds, most likely, and said, hey, I'm gonna set OJ up, and this is what I'm gonna do. So he pre-planned the whole thing. He was recording the whole thing, and when everybody got charged, it was the white dude. He was the only one who got immunity. Immediately got immunity. Which lets you know he was in on the setup from the giddy up. So they threw all of these cockamamie charges at him. Well, OJ, you told that man to sit down. Well, technically, that's kidnapping. Well, we're going to have to give you a kidnapping charge. And that's the only time in history I've seen anybody go to jail. What, he got a 30-year sentence? I don't know what the sentence was. But you see somebody get a sentence like that for stealing your own stuff. They sent OJ to jail for taking his own stuff, which is the first time in history I've seen that. You go get your stuff from a thief, and then they charge you and send you to jail for 30 years. So that was a revenge trial. And what's funny, the judge, another suspected white supremacist female, they did an interview with her. Her ass talking about, well, it's karma. I think it's karma. Karma, really? Ain't no karma. It's white supremacy. Ain't got nothing to do with karma. That's the white supremacists trying to act like God. You ain't, well, you pretend to be our gods, but wasn't no karma. It's just white supremacy at work. And you should have known, if you got all of these suspected white supremacists mad at you, they run shit. They run the show. And yeah, I banned him. He's just being silly. I banned him. Yeah, that's Crispy. He's mad because I got a Crispy shirt on. What's up? Go to Google. You can go to Google and get this shirt. Google Crispy Puppet T-shirts. And it'll take you to the Cafe Press page where you can get the shirt right now. Wintertime is coming. So go to Google and type in Crispy Puppet shirt. Let me make sure that's the right thing. and you'll see a link for Cafe Press. Or or type in Crispy Puppet Shirts Cafe Press. Or go to the YouTube page of Crispy, the Crispy Puppet. Say OJ is HIV. I don't believe that. I don't believe OJ is HIV positive. Oh yeah, the Crispy Puppet Instagram is at Crispy Puppet. Say, do you think the black community has any real black heroes left? I mean, what's a hero? What do you mean, what's a hero? But again, like I said, man, when you live in a society of white supremacy, where you don't have equal protection under the law, and you really don't have rights, you just have privileges. You just have privileges, and you have a prison system that's designed to lock you up for any arbitrary reason, which is slavery. We're still in slavery. When the white supremacists try to make it seem like slavery is a long time ago, it's so long ago. No, slavery is right now. Being in a system of white supremacy is slavery. And there was a teenage black boy. His name is, what the hell is his name? Shit. Again, that's another story we need on. Let me find the link. Hold on 1 second. Let me find the link so I can give y'all his name so y'all can see this story for yourself. Let me give y'all this guy's name so y'all can verify this. Okay. There's a teen. What city is he in? Cormega Copening. He's from North Carolina. Black kid. All right, follow me. Is Byron in here? I need you to put this story up on Melanoid Nation. This kid, he's 17 years old. Cormega Copening, out of North Carolina. He's being charged with a sex crime. All right, this is a black kid being charged with a sex crime. The crime is possessing nude photographs of a minor on his cell phone. He's charged. I want y'all to follow me. This is not some shit from The Onion. This kid is charged with having nude pictures of a minor on his cell phone. Do you know who the minor is? The minor is himself. He's getting charged. He got nude pictures of himself on his phone. I swear to God, this is real. And because he's a minor, the police there are charging him for having nude pictures of himself because he's a minor. They actually charged him for having nude pictures of himself because that is technically nude pictures of a minor. You think I'm bullshitting? Look that story up. They charged the dude. He copped a plea because they were about to send this dude to jail for a long time. So he made like a little plea deal. It's in Fayette. Yeah, it's in Fayette, North Carolina. His girlfriend too. His girlfriend, she had nude pictures. They charged her too. Because he took the pictures of himself when he was 16. He's 17 now. So now they're going to charge him as an adult now that he's 17 for having nude pictures of himself when he was 16. This is there's a link from the Daily Mail. It's when I say, dude, they're coming up with laws now. There you go. It says high school quarterback and his girlfriend both charged by cops for privately sharing nude pictures of themselves. And remember, in that part of town, sexual consent is 16, the age of consent. So even if they were having sex, that's legal. But they get these little loopholes and find these little ways to criminalize us. You don't never see little loopholey laws like that for white children or white people at all. You don't see it. Do you know how many white male supremacist pedophiles there are? Do you really know how many pedophiles there are in white supremacist society? They're loaded with pedophiles. Loaded with pedophiles. Pedophilia goes way deep. Speaking of the Pope, people making a big hubbub about the Pope and all. We want to go to pedophile. Look at the Catholic Church. Speaking of the Pope had to tell some of those Catholic priests, hey, come on, zip your pants up. Speaking of the Pope had to tell them, hey, man, y'all, you're going to have to put your dick up. Y'all raping too many kids. There was a documentary that's supposed to be coming out. What was that? What the fuck is that name of that documentary? About pedophilia in Hollywood. There was a documentary, and it might still be, look at Jared. That's another thing. That's a great example. Jared, he had pedophile, nude pictures of kids and all this old shit. Didn't he get house arrest? They convicted him and gave his ass house arrest. You got organizations like NAMLA, which is a pedophile ring, a legal pedophile ring. Let me give y'all a link. Let me give y'all the name of this documentary because I like to get my names together. Hold on. There's a documentary that they almost shelved. Hold on. Hold on. Let me give y'all the name. Oh, yeah. There you go. There was a documentary that, I don't know if it's coming out or whatever, but they might have shelved it. This is the second time they've done this. There was another documentary where they were going to talk about pedophilia. It was a documentary from like the 80s and 90s about these politicians having pedophile sex with people, and they shelved that documentary. They buried that shit. There's a new one. There was a documentary coming out called An Open Secret about the epidemic of pedophilia in Hollywood. And it was a lady named, she's an Oscar-nominated documentary filmmaker named Amy Berg. And for some reason, she stopped promoting it. So somebody must have got to her ass. Somebody must have got to her. But the documentary is called An Open Secret. And they shelved that documentary. Now, I don't know. They still might be trying to put it out. I don't know what they're trying to do with it. But they're not promoting that documentary no more. They're not promoting that documentary. It's called An Open Secret. It's about pedophilia in Hollywood. They got like Corey Feldman? Yeah, Corey Feldman. They got him in it because he's been talking about the pedophilia, how he'd have been raped a whole bunch of times. He's been very vocal about that. And they got other white Hollywood actors who used to get raped out here in Hollywood. So it's real heavy stuff. But again, that just shows you they're going to charge this dude for having nude photos of himself. That just shows you they will charge you with anything. They'll charge you with anything. As a black person, they'll make up anything and charge you with. We get the sagging pants law, all types of stuff. It's out. Let me look at IMDb. An Open Secret. Well, the thing, they say it's out, but where can you see it? I think they shelved it. It's on IMDb. They said it was released June 2015, but nobody knows where to see the whole film. Where can you see the whole film? They say it's out, but I think they just shelved it. Even in the IMDb thing, people are like, does anybody know where we can watch the film? Nobody knows where you can. They say it's out, but nobody knows where to watch it. They got a trailer of it, but they buried that movie. They buried that shit. Yeah, they buried that movie. They don't play around. They keep that shit secret. It's a secret for real. Conspiracy Asylum. Let me see what that one's about. A band Discovery Channel. Oh yeah, that's the one. Hold on. This is the one. Let me see what we got. Oh yeah, that's the one I was talking about earlier. That's the documentary that they were going to air on TV. Yeah, good find. That's a very good find, my man. That's the name of the documentary I was talking about earlier. It's called Conspiracy of Silence. And it's a very low quality version of it on YouTube. But they were talking about how politicians and leaders in DC would fly in children for sex orgies. Go check out my pay-per-view special I did a few years ago at maclessons.com called Sex Magic. I talk about all that in that too. I talk about these pedophile rings. I've been talking about this for years. But go to it's called Sex Magic. That's the name of my pay-per-view special. And I talk about all these sex rings and these pedophile rings. These little secret things they got going on. What's up, Tariq? Yeah, but check out this documentary. You can see it right now for free on YouTube. It's called Conspiracy of Silence, talking about these politicians molesting kids and having these pedophile rings and these sex orgies. And they got that shit off the air. They were supposed to have it on the air. They shut that shit down. These big time pedophiles, they're powerful, man. But now they're charging black teenagers for having nude pictures of themselves. But you got people with pedophile rings. Dude, in my pay-per-view special, and this is why y'all got to get it. It's some real good game in that Sex Magic special. One of the first kids to get put on a carton of milk. Y'all remember they started putting kids on cartons of milk in the late 70s, early 80s. That Have You Seen This Child? They started doing that really I said late 80s, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. They started putting children on milk cartons in the early 80s, for the most part. One of the first kids they used on a milk carton, his name is Matt or Adams. I can't think of his name right now. It's at the tip of my tongue. But one of the first kids they had on the milk carton, and y'all go listen to the special because I break it down. I'm so bad with names. But this kid, they found out that he ended up being in some kind of pedophile ring. They had him all, I think in Russia, there were pictures of him that you can see on the net of him all tied up with other kids, and he was in a pedophile ring. One of those kids who was on the milk cart, one of the first kids. They had him in a child sex pedophile ring. And I break this shit down in that special. Eaton Pats, that's his name. Eaton Pats, that is his name. That's right. That is his name. Eaton Pats. Y'all Google that name. Google that name. Eaton, E-T-A-N, last name P-A-T-Z. Eaton Pats. And yeah, they had him. He was one of the first kids on the milk carton. And I'm looking, they got a whole Wikipedia thing. Is that his name? Let me see, because there was a couple of other kids. Denied responsibility upon his death. Hold on, is that the guy who was in the... Oh, that might not have been him. Hold on. 2 blocks from the bus. It might not be. It might be another kid. Hold on. Yeah, damn legal. Hold on, remember y'all? 6 years old. And it might be another kid. It might not be, because Eaton was one of the guys. There's another cat that they actually have pictures of him. It's like some kind of pedophile website. They found pictures of him later on. Y'all got to go listen to this the Sex Magic special where I break all that down. I had all the names and dates. Okay. Now, about the Eden Pats guy, in this year in New York, there was a pedophile who admitted to molesting Eden Pats. There was a former informant, a pedophile, admitted to molesting that kid. And that was happening real heavy. Was that him? Okay. It wasn't Adam Walsh. His dad is the dude on that Crime Stoppers show. But y'all got to understand this. In the early 80s, there were a lot of those pedophile rings going on. In the early 80s, there was a lot of those pedophile rings going on because they were having sex magic orgies with kids. That was a real big thing. And again, go listen to that special. I talk about, y'all remember the Atlanta child murders that happened in the early 80s? All those black kids in Atlanta, they found them, they were coming up missing. If you're old enough to remember, if some of y'all are old enough to remember, in the early 80s in Atlanta, there was a bunch of black kids ended up missing. They kept leaving out that those kids they were getting molested and found dead. They left out the molestation part for the most part. They were sexually assaulted and they were being found dead all over Atlanta. And Atlanta was a big hub for those sex rings back in the late 70s, early 80s. The fall guy was the Wayne Williams dude. The fall guy was that Wayne Williams dude, but then they did an interview with him and found out his ass used to work for the CIA. And he got real quiet about that when they brought it up. Wayne Williams, yeah, he was in some kind of training program with the CIA. I play a clip of that on the special that I did, the pay-per-view special. I play an audio clip. Oh, yeah, he didn't do all that. Ain't no nigga getting away doing all that shit. They get niggas for, if a black person commit a crime, they get us in 48 hours. They weren't letting, y'all know good and well a black dude wasn't doing all that, killing all them damn people for that long, and they didn't catch him? Shit. They know how to catch us in 48 damn hours. So you know some other people were up to that shit. There was some other stuff behind that. He was just the fall guy. Yeah, he was just the fall guy. We ain't that sophisticated with our shit. Yeah, he had his ass living at home with his mama. Yeah, when they caught him, he was still living at home with his mom. Old dude. Come on now. Yeah, I talked about that earlier, T-Easy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just like in Ohio. Y'all saw that case in Ohio where they had those girls kidnapped for 10 years up in the house, and that dude with that fucked up ass perm went and saved them. He cooning on TV. Y'all remember that? They had those girls locked up in that house. Yeah, man, real heavy stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, we got my partner, my boy Ola, and another writer from melanoidnation.org, Bryson. There's a series of children's books that we're going to start doing. All right? This is really a brainchild of my boy Ola. And we got an Indiegogo page, family. Let me give y'all a link, and I want y'all to share this because we got some real good book for children coming out. All right? Now, everybody, if you're listening right now, go to Indiegogo right now. That's the link to the children's books. It's a series of children's books that we're going to start putting out My man Ola has royally melanated. And we're trying to get a little money to get these books out. Again, Ola's the mastermind behind it. The books are real tight, books for kids, talking about Africa. A lot of stuff that you've seen in Hidden Colors, we're going to kind of put that in children's forms in the book. The stuff looks great. Man, we talk about some real, the book is good looking stuff in the book, man. So, and Ola's an African brother. Ola's a Nigerian brother. That's my right-hand man. But yeah, y'all go to that link. Go to that link, family. And y'all contribute to the book and share that on your page. So let people know, because people ask all the time, where can we get some African-centered books? Your kids need to read stuff like this. They need to see images at a young age of melanoid empowerment. You really got to get them early, because when I look at television, you see white, and that you see that in the children's minds, and they see that at a young age. You're raising coons and bedwenches. You're raising your kids to be coons and bedwenches when they see white is right all the time. White is right. White is right. They pick up on colors. The kids pick up on colors. That's why when these kids do these doll tests, they immediately go to the white doll, because they've been already programmed. They start young. They start with books and cartoons. So we got to start getting the right images in our children's minds. Yeah, when these kids grow up, you looking at TV, and you got to be careful, because I pretty much let my children watch videos, not too much TV, because it's those commercials that get you. You know, your kid, you got your kid looking at something that you think is educational. They might be looking at Doc McStuffins, and that's a cute little black girl doctor. But then when they see the commercials, they see Barbie with the blonde hair driving a convertible. And then your kid started looking like Bunny Ruckus. She put a weave in her head at 9. So we got to get our images together. And we got to control our images. Man, Ola already has that knocked out. He has a cartoon artist for the books already. The books are they're pretty much almost done. So we just got to, get some more funding to promote and all that old stuff. So everybody get involved, man. Get involved. Indiegogo, put the link up on your page. Yeah, the cover's dope, man. The cover's dope. I saw that. Zendaya, yeah, she came out with a doll with the locked hair. That was cute. I thought that was very, very cute. I thought that was very cute. But everybody, put it on Facebook. Everybody go to Facebook and put that up on Facebook. Put that up on Facebook. Share it. And again, let everybody know they can get this for their children, because we need that more than ever now. You dig? And we got to watch what images. Speaking of TV, we got to watch the images that we're getting, because again, the white supremacists, they will orchestrate some stuff for us and program and brainwash you. Did y'all see the premiere for the season 2 of Empire last week? Speaking of images on TV. Let me talk about Empire for 1 second. Now, I like Empire. It's a guilty pleasure. I like Empire. That's a guilty pleasure. People talk to you, because I was talking about Empire when I went to Chicago. It was a sister who got mad. How you like Empire? I like it. It's a guilty pleasure. I like the show. There's some fuckery in there, but I like it. For the most part, I like the storyline. I like the characters. It's over the top. It's drama, but I like it. It's cool. I'm entertained by it. Yeah, I'm entertained by it. But they just had the season 2 premiere. Okay? It was a lot of shit thrown in there. There was a lot of stuff in there. They're trying to do a little bit too much, and they're doing too much pandering. All right? The first episode was cool. It got better gradually. But a lot of pandering. They start talking about the prison system and how they over incarcerate black men. Okay, that's cool, but at least try to work it in the storyline a little better. It was just kind of over the top, and it was very panderish. They had a cameo by Al Sharpton, and okay, they're throwing too much in the pot. Then with the gay stuff, look, the gay stuff was, they were so crowbarring in the gay stuff. They were crowbarring in gay stuff. Look, I get it. Lee Daniels is gay. They want to speak up for gay issues. I get it. But damn, at least make the gay stuff applicable to the storyline. And again, I'm not knocking your lifestyle. That's his show. And if it's my show, I want to have, like, if my show and I got carte blanche to do what I want to do on my show, I would talk about issues that pertain to me. You know, images that would pertain to me and my community. I would talk about black issues or whatever. But at least make it applicable and just not so gratuitous so it takes you out of the storyline. That's the thing. It's not a lot of the gay. It's just like, okay, the writers were like, okay, let's do this, and then let's write something gay. Basically, you can tell they made a conscious decision to put in over-the-top gay stuff instead of just letting it flow naturally. It takes you out of the show. Again, I get you, gay. That's cool, man. No problem with that. But just being over-the-top, crowbarring in gay stuff that don't really have anything to do with, you got to crowbar it in the storyline. It's just like, okay. Just like that scene in the movie Swordfish where they had Halle Berry sitting out there with her titties out. I like them titties, but I'm like, okay, it was a cheap gimmick. It was too gimmicky. Halle Berry's just sitting out there and all of a sudden her big old beautiful breasts is out. Okay, I'm like, this is beautiful. So now I ain't thinking about the movie no more. I'm like, damn, them titties were wonderful. So basically, that's what Empire's doing, a bunch of titty shots. There was a scene where, you know, there'd be one scene talking about the Lucius Lion and all this old shit, and then all of a sudden there's another scene where they go in the office, there's a gay dude on the table singing. Okay. You dig? Okay, I'm like, where's it going? It had nothing to do with nothing. That's what I'm saying. It just really had nothing to do with nothing. And then on Empire, they had a female executive, a white lady. She was a lesbian. She's coming on to everybody, and then people sleeping with her. And okay, all right. Okay, everybody's gay on Empire now. Okay, it's just too over the top. It's just extremely over the top now. Yeah, it's just not really making sense. I'm like, okay, she's gay, he's gay, everybody, okay. Okay, they're gay. Now what? Okay, now they're gay. Now what are the gay people going to do? And they just put them in there to show that they're gay, and then bam. So I'm like, okay. So don't just have gratuitous stuff in there just for the sake of having it. I'm like, make it applicable to the storyline. Just like I like titties, but I don't want to just see gratuitous titties nonstop. I just get a porno. If I just want to see titties nonstop without a storyline, just get a porno. If you just want to see gay dudes kissing for no reason and gay dudes singing for no reason, well, shit, you turn on the Logo channel, a RuPaul show or something. My thing for the writers of Empire, and I know you've written the season already, just make it applicable. If it has to, just like, for example, in the show The Wire, you had a gay gangster. One of the characters was gay. He was a gay drug dealer gangster. Now that worked because he had a purpose within the storyline. And his gayness wasn't the storyline. He was a gangster who happened to be gay. So that made sense. You dig? The dude from The Wire, Omar, was a gangster who just happened to be gay. It was nobody to fuck with. So it made sense for the whole overall collective of the story. Yeah, Kalanji. Yeah. I guess that's the dude. And I hope you're listening, Kalanji. When Griff, shout out to Griff, when Griff was saying there was some people in the conscious community talking about laying hands, I think that's the one he was talking about, because that dude, somebody said that he made a video talking about he was going to slap me and all that. And I saw pictures of this little dusty nigga. He's about this big. Who ain't going to bust a grape? This nigga, another dusty little informant nigga, because I done some research on him, and he's a suspected informant too. He ain't gonna bust a grape because he's already. There's a video of him snitching on somebody. Somebody done whooped his ass, and he's snitching. So he's one of those niggas that talk greasy, and if you stomp him out, they get online and start snitching. So I don't take that little bum ass nigga seriously. I don't take him seriously. Yeah, I said shout out to Griff. Yeah, shout out to Griff. That Kalanji dude is a fucking joke. That nigga is a fucking joke. He ain't gonna bust a grape. Little dirty dreadlocks having nigga. What's up, sweetheart?
Is there a camera in
A camera? Is it over there? Are my son asleep?
Yeah.
Good.
Clips out.
Yeah, another jealous hater. Yeah, it is.
It was an eclipse right now.
It what?
Eclipse.
It's an eclipse outside? Oh, there's an eclipse outside. I want to see that.
It's almost dark now.
It is?
Yeah.
I want to see that.
See, can you see it? If you can't see
You
it.
took a picture of it?
Look them out.
Let me see. Oh, okay.
You can't see it.
You can't see it. Scott High School. There's a red moon, blood moon outside. So, anyway. Let's see what we got on the phone. What's up? Who's calling?
Hello?
Hey.
What's up, Tariq?
Hey, who is this?
This is Tadia.
Tadia?
Mm-hmm.
Where you calling from, Tadia?
I'm calling from Texas.
There you go. What part of Texas?
Dallas.
There you go. So what's on your mind, young lady?
Okay, I have a question, Tariq.
Yes.
And I've been dying to ask you this. So, how can a person be more decisive? Because I think, like, I'm one of those people, I tend to ask, like, for advice too much, I think, and I'm trying to get out of that. I want to just stand firm because I think it's time for me to leave my relationship.
Oh.
And, yeah.
Well,
I just,
how long you been in a relationship?
I've been married for about a year now.
Oh, you married?
And,
Oh, you married? Oh, dude, this ain't just a
Yeah.
regular relationship.
yeah, I'm married, but me and my husband, you know, we just argue. He's gotten aggressive on me once, you know, put his hands on me, like pushing and all that stuff. And I just don't feel like he's doing everything he can do to, like, stand up as a man and do what he's supposed to do. I just feel like I deserve better because everything we want to do, if I talk about getting a house or something, he'll like, oh, well, we're not going to get a house unless you save your money with me or unless you do this or that. Like, I just don't, you know, I'm not saying I don't want to help him. I'm not that type of woman. I have a job and everything.
Right.
But I just want him to stand up a little bit more. So I think, you know, I'm ready to make my decision, but how can a person just be more decisive?
Okay. Well, to be decisive, you got to really act fast. That's the thing with decisiveness. When you make a decision,
Okay.
you got to act on that decision immediately. Because what happens is we start procrastinating and then we try to pick on or try to pick and choose from different procrastination points. So it's good to just act on stuff immediately. If you see something is wrong and you see it's not going nowhere, just say, hey, look, this shit ain't going nowhere. Let me cut this shit off now. I know it's going to be uncomfortable now temporarily, but you need to go ahead and nip that shit in the bud. And how many times...
Tariq, do you think I'm being unreasonable, like, with my reason, like, that I've told you? Do you think I'm being unreasonable? Because he feel like, go get another man, go get another husband to do that for you. Like, whenever I try to talk to him about anything that he's doing.
Well, the thing is, if it's getting so bad where he's whooping your ass and all this old stuff, and how many times does he whoop your ass?
Well, Tariq, okay, before we got married, like, he slapped me before.
Yeah.
Like, he's like those type of dudes, like, if you say something, like, you know how you might be arguing with your wife or something, if he wants me to shut up at that moment, if I don't shut up, like, he's lunging at me, trying to push me or something, like, so it's been a couple of times that he's actually, like, pushed me, but slapping and all that, he's done it twice.
Damn. My nigga got some pimping.
Yeah.
Has he ever done some pimping? That sounds like some pimping right there.
No, I don't mean like he gave me the backhand or anything, but it's like...
I'm not trying to make
light
of
just
it.
like...
What he slap you for? What'd you... I mean, he just like, hey,
okay.
fix me a jelly sandwich, bitch. What?
No, it's not that. It's like... I don't like, it's like we be talking like this, maybe having a debate or something. If it's going somewhere he don't want it to go, like, if I let me just utter one cuss word or something, like, he's coming for me, like, trying to, you know, get in my face, like, shut up, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. It's just a lot of shit that has happened between us, and it just seems like, you know, already you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Like, I make more money than him, and I'm not trying to say that to, like, brag or anything.
Right.
But I feel like he should try more, you know, try to do more. And I told him to get another job, you know, for the time being while he's trying to figure out what he's going to do. And he's like, oh, I'm not about to go kill myself while you put your feet up, you know, and I'm over there dying. I'm like, well, you know, I mean, you're the one who said, you know, you're not financially where you want to be. So that's the only reason why I said that.
Now, how old is he?
So,
how old is he? How old is he?
He's 27 and I'm 26.
Okay. Now, why did you stay the first couple of slaps? Did you feel like you deserved some of those slaps?
I didn't feel like I deserved it, no, because, like, I don't put my hands on him. I don't get near him. I don't even think about stuff. I'm not that kind of person to just go up and try to be violent to somebody. I don't do that. But what scares me is he tries to get violent just off of me talking, or like maybe, you know, the conversation's going where he doesn't want it to go, and so he tries to get violent that way. And that scares me. You know, if I was like hitting him or something, I'm a firm believer. If you put your hands on somebody, you should be ready for whatever they throw back at you, you know? But if I'm not, you know, doing anything like that to you and you're trying to come for me, we don't have no kids right now, so I'd be scared like, damn, like, what are you going to do when we have a baby or something? Like, how you going to act?
Why haven't you left already? Because this is a dysfunctional relationship. Functioning couples shouldn't have to go through all this shit. So why haven't you left already?
I haven't left because, you know, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I think I'm just indecisive, and I just get scared of being alone and stuff like that. You know, I don't move.
So you'd rather have periodic ass whoopings than be alone?
No. Tariq, no. Hold on now. Like, I'm not trying to, I always told myself I would not be one of those women, like, and I'm sounding just like that. But you're right. Like, and everybody just keeps telling me, like, I don't understand. Even my parents are just like, you know, you need to make a decision. You need to do something, because you can't just sit around there like that, you know?
Exactly. What do you look like? Because what do you look like? What do you look like?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like 5'8".
Okay.
And I'm dark skinned and slim.
And slim. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't sound like an unattractive sister. You can catch. But again, you need to be out the relationship. You need to be out tonight. Y'all living together. You need to get out tonight. Go to a shelter, or a hotel, or whatever. And you got to start over. You're being lazy because you just don't want to start over. You're like, okay, maybe he'll stop these ass whoopings. Maybe Dude, y'all in two different spaces in the relationship. It's time for you to start over, and that's what it is. It ain't about being indecisive. You know what the fuck you need to do. You're not indecisive. You know exactly what you need to do, but you're just too lazy to do it because you're like, okay, I've been dealing with a couple of ass whoopings this long. I mean, shit. It ain't too bad. Yeah, he slapped me once, but it didn't hurt that long. It's that type of logic. So you need to bounce.
You're right.
Yeah, you need to
You're
bounce.
right.
Yeah, and you know, I know if
You're
and
remember that instant gratification show? I was the one who emailed you about that.
And that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago. So we've been going through a lot since our first year of marriage.
How long y'all been dealing with each other? Y'all been married for a year, but how long y'all been dealing with each other?
Since 2013.
Okay, a couple of years. Okay, it's time. Life is short. Life is precious, and it's much too short to be in a dysfunctional situation because you're not building anything. Because relationships are ultimately about building shit and growing. So you cannot build nothing going in a dysfunctional circle. And after these couple of years of y'all dealing with each other, y'all are back at square one. Y'all haven't built nothing. Y'all haven't grown nothing. You haven't accomplished nothing. You haven't established nothing. You don't own nothing. Y'all in square fucking one. All right?
Okay, Tariq, before you go, I know you gotta go. I know you gotta show up to do this. I just have one more question. So, how do you feel about finances in marriage? Like, because he tries to throw that whole, religion in my face. Like, he's like, we're Muslims, so he tries to, do the whole Muslim thing. But in our religion, it says that the man's supposed to handle. But when it comes to that part, he's like, oh, it's 50-50 on that.
Right.
So how do you feel about finances? If he wants us to save our money together, and I'm like, no, I don't want to put my money with yours. So how do you feel about finances? I do help out. I pay half of the rent, and I buy groceries. I pay for all my stuff. I do help out in the house. So how do you feel about finances in a marriage?
Finances, because number one, all the money is community property anyway. All right? So there is no her money, my money, his money, all that. It's all community property in a marriage. Two, the man should be the person who manages everything. All right? The man should be the one. But he should be qualified to do so. See, a lot of dudes fall on that. Well, I'm the man. I'm supposed to do this. But, nigga, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You remember the movie? What's that movie? Why Do Fools Fall in Love? The movie with Frankie. What was his name? Frankie Avalon. Frankie Lyman. And he was.
I remember that.
Yeah, that movie.
With
Trey, with Lorenz Tate. He played Frankie Lyman, and he was with this woman. I think it was the Holly Berry character, and she married him or got with him, and he's the man in a relationship, and she left to go on tour or something. She came back. Her house was fucked up, foreclosed on. The pool was dry. You let the wrong nigga run your shit, and he will run you in the damn ground. All right?
Okay.
Don't let a dude run that. I'm the man, so I'm supposed to be running shit. No, nigga, you got to be qualified to run shit. You got to be qualified, and that goes to you, young lady. You got to find a dude who's qualified to be a leader in the relationship. You can't go and get these niggas that you got to raise. Niggas who throw temper tantrums whenever they have a conversation with you. You understand that?
Yeah, you're right, Tariq. You're right.
All right, I got footage of your dude right here. Is this him? Hold on.
Oh my God.
Watch this video. And you know what? Here's the fuck who she really is. She is a lion. Let me tell you something, Jennifer. You are nothing but a lying, manipulating hoe who is messing with people's emotions and have no remorse for other people's feelings. And you get fucked up in the ass daily. And you know what you fucking need? All you needed was a fucking cock. Oh, my fucking cock in your fucking mouth. So I can put some white stuff in it. That way I can just...
There you go. Oh, that clip never gets old. Oh, that clip never gets old. I love it when he's like, you need a cock. Oh, my cock. Like he had a revelation in his crazed rant. You dig? But again, sister, y'all ladies, y'all need to get out these situations. If you got a dude who's on that child shit, who ain't really bringing nothing to the table, who ain't giving you no game, he's not upgrading you. Basically, you got you a boy. Y'all got to be woman enough to get somebody who's going to give you that ism, somebody who's going to upgrade you, somebody who's going to take that leadership role so you can fall back into your natural woman self and just be the lady in the relationship. All that, I'm the strong person. Women don't want to do that shit. Y'all don't do that shit to put up a front because the white supremacists tell you you're supposed to act like that. You dig? You want to play your wife role in the relationship. That's why you got to get a dude who can play the husband role. See, we got dysfunctional relationships. I'm going to talk about that when I go to Toledo. I'm going to talk about relationships when I get out there. You dig? I'm going to mix some of that in with the knowledge. I'm going to break that relationship stuff down. Yes, indeed. Let's see who we got on the phone. What's up? Who's calling?
Hey, what's going on, Tariq? It's Matt calling from Decatur, Georgia.
What's up, Mac? How you doing, fam?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Listen, I wanted to get your perspective on one of your previous callers.
Yes, sir.
About finances in the relationship.
Yes.
I'm in somewhat of a similar situation, but it's a little bit different. Cause let's see, I've been married for about 12 years, and I can say that. Excuse me. I really wouldn't consider myself to be when I first got married, because I got married when I was 21. Damn, it sounds like I'm crying and shit.
I know, goddamn. So don't break down on the phone, brothers. Yeah, you sound like you got the breakdown voice in your thing, bro. You about to talk about your marriage, and you about to go.
Yeah.
Right,
Anyway,
so what happened?
Going back to what I was saying, I've been married for about 12 years. I got married when I was 21.
All right.
And I wouldn't say that I was pretty much qualified when I first got married to be the man of the house.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then more kids came along, and it's kind of a tough situation not being qualified to be the man of the house, but still have to be responsible because you got kids in a relationship.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So what's your perspective on the man's role, or a man being in that position, not being qualified to run a household, but still having to take on that male authority in that relationship?
Right. And what you mean by not being qualified, you mean that your wife was making more money than you, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, just basically on some hood shit. I mean, we was gonna go little sisters, getting food stamps, the whole nine. You know what I mean? So really, neither one of us was qualified to be, in my opinion, to be qualified just to be married.
Again, your wife was making more money than you because again, the food stamps come to her. You brothers, we don't get all that shit. We don't get Section 8 and food stamps and all that shit. That's for women and kids. So again, if y'all on food stamps and Section 8 and all that old shit, the lady was making more than you.
Right.
Even if it's crumbs. All right?
Okay.
And y'all were married? How did that work? How did she get all that shit and she was married? They don't give that to married couples.
Well, I don't know how she did it, but it happened.
Were y'all legally married? Wait, were y'all legally married?
Yeah, I mean, it's on paper. It's at the county courthouse.
And y'all were getting, did y'all get Section 8 or what were y'all getting?
We had food stamps, Section 8. We got the channel for a while too, but we got that cut off because, just really wanting to use it. Not just use it during, just to be on it, but to have the money part during, really rough times.
So did she have it? I want to see how that worked.
And stuff like that.
Did she stop, brother. Did she have Section 8 before she met you?
No, she had.
Okay, I'm like trying to see how y'all pull that off because they're like, they're real strict on that type of stuff. So they must have had some kind of hookup or something. So that was like a hookup type of situation. And again, if you're in a situation where y'all living off her Section 8 and her stamps, brother, you shouldn't have been out there grinding. What were you doing?
Well, the thing is that I was doing that, but going into the selfish, having the selfish mindset that, okay, I got somebody who got food stamps and I got the welfare, this my come up right here. I had started going to school. I dropped out because I was so comfortable. I got in-house pussy. You know what I mean? And I got somebody who, whenever I fall on hard times or if I have a small failure, instead of her kicking me in the ass and saying, "Hey, get up off your ass and step up, big man up," she'd be like, "Oh, baby, it's okay. It's all right. It's gonna be better next time." I mean, really, that's pretty much what the situation. I'm like, man, shit just don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like this don't feel right. I was like, you know what? I ain't never been a bachelor. I ain't never had my own shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hold on, wait, let's take a break for a while and let me see. No, don't leave up. I'm like, man, this.
How many kids y'all got together? How many kids y'all got?
Well, shit, we got 5 now, one on the way.
How many? Does she have kids by other dudes?
No, all by me.
Okay. So y'all got 5 kids and one on the way. So y'all about to have 6 kids?
Yeah.
Okay. And y'all still living off her Section 8?
Well, we not on Section 8 now. We still get the food stamps and whatnot, but we're not on Section 8 now. We don't let that go, and we actually paying rent now.
Okay, how y'all paying rent and y'all ain't working? I know she ain't working with no 5 kids, and you, what you just said, you ain't working.
Oh, I'm working. I'm working. I'm working. I was a fast food manager for a while.
Okay, so you're working now. Okay.
Go ahead.
So you're working now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working now.
Okay. I'm just trying to get the whole gist of the whole story now. So y'all still married now, right?
Yep.
Okay. As long as you're trying to pull yourself up out of the dustiness, because you and your wife was real dusty. So
yeah.
So long as you're trying to pull yourself up out of the dusty and get your shit together, I can applaud that. Just you sat up a little bit too long getting comfortable on the little Section 8 and all that old stuff. So you got to just get out here and grind and get out here and get your money and start stacking it up. And, there's not too much your wife can do with all those kids. So it's all on you. So you are qualified. You have to be qualified to be the breadwinner of the house. So you got to get out there and grind, man. And stop acting like one of the kids, like one of the other kids.
Yeah.
Y'all acting like niggas on a plantation. So you just got to think about manning up and doing what you need to do. So how's the relationship with you and your wife now?
I mean, we good. It's hell. I don't run through so many damn women. Being with my wife is crazy. But
you done ran with women being with your wife. So you out here messing with chicks on the side?
Man, shit, I had a whole lot, but I've been straight for about 3 years though. I've been good.
Come on, man. You thinking like a plantation buck? You did? Dude, that plantation buck mentality, that shit has to go, man. You dusty.
Explain what you mean by that. Like you said what plantation?
Plantation buck. That's what bucks used to do on plantations. Massa used to take care of you, and all you had to do was go around having sex with different women on the plantation. Y'all all dusty and broke. Your job was to have sex with different women on the plantation and have kids for Massa, so that Massa can take care of them, and basically they can work on the plantation. You're doing the same thing now. If what you're saying is accurate in your story, your wife is being taken care of by Massa with the food stamps in Section 8. Your kids are being half-assed taken care of because you out here banging other broads, and basically when they grow up, your kids are going to be food for the prison plantation. So it's the same dynamic. It's the same plantation buck mentality that niggas got to get off of. You dig?
Yeah. I mean, I get your perspective on that. So,
how old are you, by the way? How old are you, brother?
I'm 35. I'll be 36 this year.
Yeah. You about to push 40, and you doing dusty nigga shit. So that
True.
stuff ain't gonna work, man. You got to start getting on your grind and getting your grown man on. You dig? Get that slave mentality out your system, man, and start thinking more responsibly. because those ratchets ain't going nowhere, man. At a certain age, it's just not a good look for dudes to still be going around fucking with ratchets. That's like Beyonce's dad. You know, Beyonce's dad is 60-something years old, and this nigga's out here getting hood rats pregnant. Beyonce has a whole bunch of bastard step sisters and all types of shit going on, and half sisters. That looks real ratchet on his part. When you're a certain age, messing with these little ratchets and hood rats and all that, that shit don't look good, man. Ain't nothing worse than an old, dusty nigga. You got it?
Yeah, so would you say that's along the same lines of somebody not having gone through their player stage, but at the same time on some dusty nigga shit like
that's being a plantation buck. That's beyond the player stage. That's being a plantation buck. You're regressing back into a slave state. So get out of that shit. All right, that's it. Thanks for the call, brother. All right, get your shit together. Get your stuff together. 35 years of dust. That's dusty nigga talk. That ain't fly. You old. You getting older. You got 5 kids and you're out here messing with other ratchets and all that old stuff. And your shit ain't together. That's the thing. If you want to have little side pieces and all that, at least have your shit together. I can give it up to a motherfucker who has his shit together. All right, you know, I got me a little side thing going, but my shit is together. Everything at home is taken care of. The kids are taken care of, or whatever. I'm not the moral police. I'm the practical police. He is 12 years a slave, basically. But when you dusty, your kids are dusty, your wife is dusty, y'all living on her Section 8, and you talking about some side pieces? What, you got a trail of dust through the housing projects? That ain't cool. Come on, man. Y'all chill out with the dusty nigga shit. Y'all got to chill out with that. Because y'all half-ass raising these kids. And now your kids are walking around with skinny jeans trying to rob a liquor store. Because dad was a dusty stone. He wasn't even a rolling stone. He was just a cloud. Dad was a cloud of dust. Anyway, y'all, let me get upstairs. I got work to do. Anyway, y'all, that's been tonight's episode of the Tariq Elite Radio Show. Don't forget, family, check out my pay-per-view special called Sex Magic at maclessons.com. All right? Go to TariqElite.com and get the fresh gear. Go to YouTube and go to the Crispy Puppet Show on YouTube, and y'all can. There's a link where you can get the fresh shirts, the crispy shirts. Y'all donate to the new books right here, Royally Melanated. That's the on Indiegogo. Go to Indiegogo, type in Royally Melanated, and donate to the books that's coming out by my boy Ola. Go to TariqRadio.com and get the pay-per-view specials, Code of Conduct Lecture, International Racism Lecture, and go to HiddenColorsFilm.com. That's where you can get Hidden Colors 1, 2, and 3. HiddenColorsFilm.com. All right? I got work to do. Speaking of kids, let me go up here and check on my babies so that my babies won't grow up dusty. You dig? And